My name is Carol, and I'd like to talk to you about what my class is learning to do. We're learning to write recount, and I use nouns and adjectives. I begin my recount with who, what, when, where. I use during.
Describing
sentences.
And what's the first success criteria?
It says
I can write
a sentence.
So, Carol, I'll add something in. Your class is amazing. So you were just sharing the success criteria. Can you tell us what group are you in with the success criteria? What are you working on? Can you point to it?
I'm learning to use nouns and adjectives.
Well done, Carol. That's amazing. So your class is divided into 4 groups, so they have 4 success criteria. One is I can write a sentence. The one you just talked about, I can use nouns and adjectives. The third one is, would you like to tell us again?
I begin my recount with who, what, when, where.
And then we've got a 4th success criteria, which is?
I use describing sentences.
And Carol, would you like to tell everyone what's your class number?
15J.
All right. Would you love to share one of your recounts one day?
Yes.
Excellent. All right. Do you want to wave goodbye to everyone out there?
Hi, everybody.
Shall we say that you might share a recount next time?
I might share a recount next time.
Excellent.
Students of Trinity Garden School, this is the magazine committee here. I'm Caitlin.
I'm Oscar.
I'm Colin.
I'm Bihan.
I'm Shreya.
I'm Zoe.
I'm Jalen. I'm Arjun.
I'm Lily.
I'm Michaela.
The magazine committee have decided to hold a competition for the front cover of our inaugural 2020 school magazine. This could be your chance to be part of the first ever Trinity Garden School magazine.
If you're wondering what it looks like, you'll find posters like this around your classroom and the schoolyard.
A finalist from the St. Maurice unit, junior primary, middle primary and upper primary will be selected by the judging panel, and the front cover and back cover winner will be chosen from that group.
Submit your entries at the colourful box at the library desk. If you have any questions, make sure to ask a magazine committee member. Bye. Bye.
Hello and welcome to our 5th online student assembly for Term 2. I'm Polly, this is Finn, Nellie, Georgia, Thomas and Mr. Conradi.
Remember to learn the goals of fortnight and act on them. Now I'd like to hand it over to Thomas and Finn to talk about success criteria.
Look at the screen and listen.
Don't talk to the person next to you.
Write the goals of the fortnight in your diary and in your classroom.
Please discuss the goal of the fortnight in your classroom.
So last fortnight's goals were planning for success, learning intentions and code switching. We're all really pleased with what we saw in the classrooms last week.
Yes, I'd like to just comment. I visited many rooms and saw that evident in lots of rooms. I've done a few little clips which will be attached to this assembly showing people's great job in that area. Good on you guys.
So for this fortnight's goals, there are 4 of them. The first one is tolerance, which Finn would like to talk about.
Excellent, Finn. I can't wait to hear. What's tolerance mean?
Tolerance is pushing up with something that's bugging and egging on you and ignoring it, doing the best you can.
I'm going to talk about second of this fortnight's goals, which is acceptance.
Just before you go into it, acceptance is something really good. I can't wait to hear about that because I've seen a lot of acceptance at Trinity Gardens and I've seen tolerance. Go for it.
So acceptance is just accepting the way people are, not wanting to change them, not judging them for like their looks or the way they learn.
Totally agree. Because, you know, if you accept people, you accept them for as they are. Join in, try to really encourage people, not put them down. And maybe if someone's having a really bad time, even though it might not be appropriate, do we make them feel worse or do we try to help them out? We do, and that might be actually letting someone know, like a leader or us, we'd be happy to help people having a hard time. But also we don't want people to get into trouble, do we? And sometimes we have to give guidance as school leaders. I'd expect you guys to be showing acceptance and tolerance, and sometimes it's not easy to do that. Okay, we'll go into the next bit.
The third one of these goals is success criteria, which Mr. Conrad will talk about.
Wow, I reckon in this school most students would know success criteria. It follows the learning intentions and basically it's what you need to do to achieve a really good grade or result with your work. It could be as simple as making sure when you write a sentence that you start with a capital letter and end with a full stop. If you're doing some story writing or any type of writing, it might be using a paragraph. If it's actually doing some maths operations, it's following what's expected so you can actually get the right answer. I also understand a lot of you do projects and things like that. I know a lot of you use rubrics and the teachers are really great. They put a few points down on what you've got to do to be successful. Again, I've filmed a few success criteria. These leaders didn't get to visit last week just because of the busyness of everything, but I'm going to take them out in the school this week and we're going to look for success criteria and try to film people telling us what success criteria is. For a silly question, and I'll ask these guys, do you think success criteria make a difference to your learning?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it is because you've got something to follow and you know what to do.
Excellent. All right.
The last of the goals is sizzling starts, which is the second step in the 7 steps of success.
So a sizzling start is where at the start of your story, after you plan for success, you try and make the start interesting and draw the reader in so they continue to read your story.
Just a reminder on the yard rules, Mr. Conradi would like to talk about some school happenings.
Okay, this week Helen's class from Steiner, they're actually filming quite a bit for this assembly. I can't wait to see that bit. And also Finn and myself. Finn, do you want to just wave to everyone for a minute so they remember who Finn is? Finn and myself will be visiting all Steiner classes each week and doing a bit of a version of assembly as well. But a bit of a sad reminder, a lot of people order lunches. Do you guys ever order lunches here or never? Sometimes? Yeah, well we're actually having a bit of strife. I felt really sad for Janet We've actually had people stealing lunches again. We're guessing it's stealing. So we're just letting you know, if you're caught stealing, we're going to have to invite the police out to visit. So please do not be tempted to take someone else's lunches. The police have been called and will come out if we can work out who it is. Because the worst factor is that not only was the food stolen, then we have people going hungry, and it can be reception children, it can be year one, it can be any year level. Can you imagine poor Janet from the library ringing a class and going, I don't have your lunch today, and then we have to come up with something. So please, that's not Trinity Gardens values, don't steal lunches. The other just brief reminder is when you're out in the yard, please keep safe, particularly on the oval and around. If you notice people being silly, can you please let the teachers know? They don't always notice everything. And I think that's been a really good, sort of a good colleague, good classmate. We're all in this together. Let's look out for each other, all the really positive things, and occasionally we do have to remind people on what they should be doing properly. Okay, see you around the school.
Have a good week.
Bye.
Bye.
The Middle Ages was the time in history between the collapse of the Roman Empire, about 400 AD, till about 1400 AD, the 15th century.
This was our title page, and this was an Muslim mosque.
Monasticism was one of the greatest gifts to humanity during the Middle Ages, due to the compassionate work of the monks and nuns to society, as well as preservers of knowledge, which they wrote down. They were the only ones who could read or write. We had to imagine we were a monk or nun, with a vow of silence in a darkened classroom, with only a tea light, as if we were in a scriptorium. Monks wrote on vellum, scraped animal skins, with no paper, beautiful handwriting, illuminated letters, and page decoration. Each page a work of art. Our whole book was to be created with the same care.
Next, we studied feudalism, a hierarchy system that is still in existence in parts of Britain today. The king would give land to the knights in return for protection. The farmers would work for the knights in return for protection, and the serfs would work for the farmers in return for food and shelter.
We then imagined we were a knight at the age of 21 who had just been through the knighting ceremony and was reflecting on the experience.
We also wrote an individual story about what we went through.
In craft, we are making our own coat of arms to represent our own family values as the knights would.
Oh, I'm the only one who's finished.
In 570 AD, a new religion arose, Islam. We heard the story of Muhammad's biography growing up in Arabia. He is considered the last prophet of Allah. Islam spread like a crescent moon across Arabia, Middle East, North Africa to Spain.
And to be a Muslim, you had to take the 5 pillars of Islam. So the first one was Shahada, which is faith, declaring there is no God but God, and Muhammad is his prophet. Then Salat, which is pray 5 times a day. Saum, which is fasting in Ramadan. Zakat, which is 2.5% of income to the needy or the church mosque. And Hajj, which is a pilgrimage to Mecca or Kaaba.
While north of the Mediterranean, Charlemagne united the Germanic tribes that had taken over the western part of the old Roman Empire and created the Holy Roman Empire of the Germanic peoples under the banner of Christianity. So began the time of the Crusades. Christian pilgrimages to the Holy Land to Jerusalem, while at the same time the Muslim people began pilgrimages to Mecca. It was a time of living deeply into the guiding monotheistic religion, Christianity or Islam.
On the third crusade to the Holy Land, we heard the story of the broadsword and the scimitar. Richard the Lionheart, a Christian, and Saladin, a Muslim, who both tried to conquer Jerusalem, east meets west to show their individual and cultural strengths with a feat of prowess. Richard the Lionheart severs a sphere of iron in half with his heavy broadsword, while Saladin allows a silk scarf to be severed by merely holding his scimitar still.
To end this period of history, we heard the biographies of two very significant women. One was Eleanor of Aquitaine, who became Queen of France at age 15, then later Queen of England. She led the Second Crusade to Jerusalem, unheard of for women in these times, and was the most powerful and influential woman of her time. She was the mother of Richard the Lionheart.
The second woman we studied was Joanne O'rourke, an illiterate peasant girl who at age 17 led a French army to rescue the Crown Prince of France, who had been under siege for 5 years by the English. She managed to have him crowned under difficulty, with guidance from higher angelic beings, and thereby managed to save France from being ruled by the English. France was the most powerful nation during the Middle Ages.
Throughout our whole main lesson, we have sung songs, and our craft work will take to the Middle Ages, as well as our book work and artistic work will also develop in the spirit of the Middle Ages.
Even after this main lesson has ended, we will continue to make stained glass lanterns and windows in our classroom to further live into this period of time as we build up to the winter solstice in 3 weeks' time.